Alright, if you're unaware, here in the United States we have March Madness going on. And that is when the best college basketball teams face off in the national championship tournament. So I thought it'd be fun to put together a March Madness Beyond video. So what I did is I made a post on my Twitter. I asked for some submissions for the best Illuvitar they have. And I took all of those Illuvitars, I ranked them by their power ranking, and I seeded them into this bracket. Now how I'm judging this is based on what I think is going to have the best long-term value. But let's get right into it. We have 5 play-in matchups. So we're going to start right here with the 16A and 16B. So we have PSG, everybody knows him in the Illuvium community. He submitted this hollow Archie with a hat, a cigar. It's really cool. I believe it is an alpha. And then Linky from Illuvahub submitted this alpha Crunk. This is a close one here. I'm going to go with the Crunk on this one. Just because it's still naked, it doesn't have the accessories. It is a tier 3, but sorry TSG, you're out in the first round. So next we have our 12A versus 12B matchup. We have Scoriox here and Jim Barino, so a battle of some YouTubers here. Scoriox submitted this Suspicious Fiery. I don't believe that was in alpha. And Jim Barino submitted his Hollow Axon Alpha Illuvitar with a Stage 1 Tier 5 background. To me, honestly, this is not too close. Jim Barino is going to take it. And you know he's going to be talking some shit in the comments. But we'll see if he wins the next matchup. Alright, so let's go over to this side here. We have our play-in for 15A versus 15B. Artemis. So I'm pretty sure Artemis submitted something herself, but for some reason I couldn't find it. So I only have her submission for Sky ILV. And it's this Alpha Dash. I forget the name of the expression, but it has an expression on there. And then we have Free Surf 13 submitting this Hollow Tier 0 Illuvitar. It is non-alpha. To me, this one isn't really too close. The Dash is going to take it and move right on. So now we have the 6A versus 6B. This is my personal submission. If you've seen one of my other Illuvitar videos, you'll know that I pulled this Blazing Ramfire, one of the rarest Illuvials out there. The really cool thing is I sold it, and I made a really good profit on it. But because I sold it, I'm going to have to disqualify it from this competition. And my Brawler Atlas with the Stage 2 Tier 5 background is going to move on there. And then finally, we have Cynics here, who submitted 2 different Illuvitars. Both have a Stage 1 Tier 5 background. You have the Hollow Lynx, and you have the non-hollow Kukulus decked out with some accessories. To me, I think just it being hollow and naked there, I think we're going to have this Lynx move on. Our round of 16 is set, and we're going to get right into these next matchups. The Observable Universe submitted this Hollow Squiz all decked out. I couldn't confirm whether it was alpha or not, so because of that, I'm saying it is a non-alpha versus this Alpha Crunk. This Squiz is our highest power ranking in here. It's this #1 seed. It is going to take this one very easily. Now we go down to the 8-9 seed, so you know these are close. We have a Galion, non-alpha, non-hollow, but it is a Tier 5 Illuvial. Now we have it versus this Hollow Atlas with the Tier 5 Stage 3 background. To me, this is a pretty obvious one. We are going to go with King ILV's Atlas. Moving down, we have our second submission with a Tier 5 Stage 3 background. So Astroby has, I forget, maybe it's the Flora Lynx, but it is hollow. We have it versus Jim Barino's Hollow Axon, also with a Tier 5 background, but Jim Barino's get the Stage 1 background. I think people are really undervaluing the Stage 3 Tier 5 backgrounds. So this one is close because Jim Barino has an alpha version there, but I'm going to give this one to the Lynx here. Sorry, Jim Barino, you did get 1 win, but you lost in the second round. Alright, so now we have Dick King's submission. He has a Hollow Smirking Galion. The power on this one is at almost 3,200. It's a hollow. It is non-alpha. A lot of people in the comment section thought that this is going to be a clear winner. It is the 4th seed, but it's going against the number 13 seed submitted by Fight for ETH. I forget, this one might be Terralynx. I'm bad with all those links names. But it looks like it's a non-alpha. It is a holo. To me, Dick Kings is going to take this one pretty easily and move on. So let's go to the other side of the bracket. We have Lee DeProso with the Alpha Holo Annoyed Fiery, all decked out. That is our number 2 highest power ranking, our number 2 seed, versus Sky ILV's Alpha Dash. This is going to be an easy one. The Fiery is going to move on. Now we have an Alpha Ramfire submitted by IamRaven.eth versus Miles Nichols with an Alpha Holo Fiery. So this is a close one. That is a great Fiery. The Holo definitely makes it more valuable, but this is an Alpha Ramfire. It's going to be one of the most sought after alluvials in the game, at least for this first set. So it does have the most common expression, the most common background, I believe, but I have to give it the win here. The Ramfire is going to move on. So now we have my Brawler Atlas with that Stage 2 Tier 5 background versus this Chill Floralinx. It's got a couple accessories. It is holo, non-alpha. This is another close one. I'm trying to keep my bias out of it, but I do have to go with my Atlas here. I think the Brawler Atlas with this Tier 5 background is going to be a really good one. It's going to be the winner here. Alright, so now we have the 3 seed versus a 14 seed here. Duke Monteagle submitted this Alpha Holo Smug Virtuous Terralinx. Now, I don't like accessories too much, but this one just looks great. It's an alpha, it's a holo. It's got the colors just all merge well together. Typically, I'm picking the naked Illuvitars over the one with accessories, but this one just looks too cool. So it's going to beat out this Lynx to make it to the Elite 8. Alright, so let's zoom out here and see what we have for our last 8. Alright, so let's start getting into these Elite 8 matchups. So again, we have our number 1 seed here with Observable Universe in that decked out Holo Squiz versus King ILV's Holo Brawler Atlas, most rare background. This is the seed 1 versus the seed 9. But if you're paying attention to the March Madness basketball at all, you'll know that upsets happen, and even the number 1 seed can go down early. It's already happened in the basketball tournament, and it's going to happen right here, because I think King ILV's Atlas is just too good. It's going to take out that Squiz and move on to the Final 4. Here we have Astro Bees, Holo, some sort of Lynx with the most rare background. That is really good. I like it. Dick Kings with that Holo Smirking Goliant. Again, this is another very tough matchup. Probably the toughest one I've had to pick here. I think I have to go with this Holo Smirking Goliant. It is a Tier 5 alluvial. So it's going to move on. If either of them were an alpha, the alpha would have taken it. But we're going to move on with that Goliant. So now we have the matchup here. We have Lee DeProso's Alpha Holo Annoyed Fiery all decked out versus a completely naked basic Ramfire, both alphas. To me, I still can't get past an alpha Ramfire not being one of the most valuable Illuvitars out there. So that is going to take the win. The basic alpha Ramfire moves on to the Final 4. Now we have my personal Brawler Atlas. I really like it, but again, it is very tough to beat this one. Look at how beautiful it looks. So some might argue my Brawler Atlas shouldn't have even made it this far, and it is finally going to meet its fate. Because this Holo Smug Virtuous Terralinx is moving on. So let's zoom out again, see everything. We have our Final 4 set, and let's see who can make it to the finals. So again, we have King ILV's. It is the Brawler Atlas. We have the most rare expression. It is a holo. Holos make it 20 times more rare than a non-holo. It is the Stage 3 Tier 5 background. Do we really think that Dick King's Goliant has a chance? It doesn't. The Holo Atlas is moving on to the finals. Over here we have, again, what is going to end up being the iconic Alpha Ramfire versus this beautiful looking Terralinx submitted by Duke. This is a very tough one. My heart tells me I want the Virtuous Terralinks to win, but if I'm being completely honest, my brain is telling me an Alpha Ramfire is still going to hold the long-term value. Just by how these look, this would probably be the overall winner here, but it's going to lose right now to the Alpha Ramfire. So against all odds, we have our 7th seed versus our 9th seed in the final. And how fitting of a final that we have here. What might go down as the two most iconic Illuvials in the first set. This is our Pikachu and our Charizard. We have our Atlas and our Ramfire. So again, this Atlas, even though the Atlas is a Stage 1, Tier 1 Illuvial, everything else about it is the most rare it gets. And on the other end of the spectrum, this Ramfire is a Stage 3, Tier 5 Illuvial, the most rare Illuvial, but it's got the basic expression and the basic background. Now, what do I think is going to be most valuable long-term? Well, if you look up this Hollow Atlas with that background and that expression, I believe this is the only one in existence. Now, this basic Ramfire, even though it's an alpha version, I don't have an exact number, but I think there's around 20 to 25 of these. So really it comes down to, do I think in the next 75 days we have left in this non-alpha wave 1 sale, do I think we're going to have 20 more of these Atlas minted? I actually don't think so. I think this Atlas in the long term is going to end up being more rare than this Ramfire. So the Atlas is going to take the W. So congratulations, King ILV. You are the winner here. I think you have the best Illuvitar. I think it's going to have the best long-term value. Obviously, we won't know probably for years what's going to hold the most value. But this is the winner, and I am happy with the way that this tournament played out. Here's the full bracket. If you submitted a bracket, I'll already be looking at these. At least the first place winner is going to get a standard disc, and I'll reach out to you about that. But the more likes this video gets, the more winners we'll have. So make sure you like up this video. Comment down below if you think you are the winner. I had fun making this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And I really can't wait to tell you about that blazing Ramfire that I sold, how much I sold it for, and what I'm doing with those profits in a future video. So make sure you're subscribed to see that one. And that's about it. I will catch you in the next one. Have a good day.